Hello, fellow gamers. D20RP Gamer here. We're gonna do another little unboxing session today, and what we got here is the White Witchlight Fens Dungeon Tiles by Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Quick note: this is a sealed package, so this is an official unboxing. I don't know what's in store for us. I hate this stuff. And yeah, so let's delve into it. Well, if I can get the damn thing open. Alright. I got this one from Amazon, and as my other unboxings, if you like this little review and like this, I'll provide a link in the description on where you can go directly to see other reviewers and purchase this if you like. Like I said, this is the Witchlight Fens, F-E-N-S, and we have a little sample map. It's black and white this time. I think the last one was color. This is a swampy kind of box set. So to start off, we're going to pop this big tile out. We have some ground with the trees, some rough terrain with rocks, rough terrain in the marsh, a center elevated rock, like a plateaued rock, and some marsh and another rock. So you can have these for some elevated encounters with some rough terrain and water. On the reverse, nice little something for a seafaring adventure. This looks like it's a house. So you have a set of stairs coming up from a path into a small room. It's a 3x3 with windows and a doorway onto a dock and a small storage room. And you have access on the dock side for any kind of water ship. Okay, fun little small ones. We have a boat in water, 1x2, and a boat on land, so that's a nice little feature to start your water campaigns off with. I guess this is a log bridge over water, over land. I don't know, maybe we'll come back to that little tile because we got to go through the rest of these. There are 6 tiles, like six tile pieces or tile sheets. So this is actually a small set. I don't remember what the price is, but I will put it in the description. We have a regular log providing some difficult terrain on dry land, and the same on the reverse. That is your same log in the marsh. Okay, we have looks like a lizard folk kind of statue, and on the reverse, the destroyed version of that. Okay, let's see what else we have. Let's go for this long one. This is a 2x8 difficult crossing for a river, a trench, a watered conduit, whatever you like, however you like to do that. And then we also have a 2x8 beachfront. So you have the land, some little bushes, and then the marsh itself or swamp. Next big piece we have is a bridge crossing over the swamp or the marsh. So that could be something you can have little guys hiding underneath there. You provide, oh, maybe like a little trap where this actually breaks through and they get stuck. You can use your imagination, you know, it's a good time. I like that one. I think I'm going to actually use that in the campaign sometime in the near future. Or a little adventure. Alright, this next one is an island in the middle of or an island surrounded by water. It's a structure. You have a large dock and then a small dock. 2 doorways with steps. 2 windows and 2 windows. So I guess this could be used in the center of the marsh with access on both sides. Maybe guard posts or whatever you want to put on the outside. Just another little something your PCs can encounter. Now we're moving on to these tiles. A don't know what these blacked out sections could be used for, but maybe if you have some 3D terrain, you can drop those in on there. Not too sure, but you know, stuff like that DM Craft does. You can build your little three-dimensional walls, or maybe that is just a wall, really high wall, with beachfront property. On the reverse, we have difficult marsh terrain surrounded by trees. Well, we have one big tree and one small tree, and then there's some rough terrain. Slow your PCs down just a hair. Next structural piece is more waterfront with the structure piece and another tree on the reverse. We have a shorter 4x4 structure. I guess you can use that for a wall, or maybe this can be like a giant wall, and that used for you know, little water ventilation system or whatever. You know, getting into the structure underneath. Difficult terrain and the beachfront property again. Okay, more beachfront, marshfront, swamp front property. 2x4 piece, and we have another 2x4 piece, a tree floating in the middle of the water, and on the reverse, more swamp / land. Alright, on to tile number 4. Ooh, I like this one. It's a longer version of the giant tile bridge. Where did it go? Yeah, so you have a short bridge with the big tile, and then you have a long bridge. And that's land to land, and the bridge crosses water. On the reverse of that, we have a small little difficult terrain going across the middle. Just a small pond, if you will, in the middle of the marsh. And then we have a short bridge. And on the reverse, some difficult crossing terrain and more land and water. Next tile up, we have a small pond, smaller than the last, I believe, with just like a little slowed down crossing, and very similar to another piece that we had. Just another little difficult spot to slow your PCs down, or maybe even the difficult terrain can be used as the only spot that you could walk on because there's stuff floating in the water below. Just an idea. On to the next piece. We have more waterfront property, more land on this one than water, but yeah, just another little edge. We have a tree plus some of that marsh growth that you could walk on, or yeah, that'll slow you guys down depending on the depth of the water, because the water is key, I guess. More beachfront property and a path with some stones to slow you down. Ooh, this one looks pretty. It's another bridge, but not quite bridge. It's a fallen tree across the river or stream. So you have landmass, giant tree fell across. Something to slow your PCs down with, or at least you're slowed as you progress across it. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. You could add on to that, and this could be like a little encounter area. You could use the tree as cover from one side or the other. Pretty nifty little piece. And more waterfront property. You could probably walk out on that and have slowed movement. Maybe the water is deep. Maybe it's too dark. Maybe if they step in it, some piranha can come out that way. So the water might not be the best option. It's your game. Another small tree is 2x4 tile. This one's on land, and on the reverse, in the water. Coming to my head now, thinking maybe you could have these laid out, like the whole play area is just swamp, and then, or like marsh, all water, except for where land is indicated. So you can have them hopping from like little grassy green areas. So you're on this land mass, but you got to get to this one, so you have to like walk across this, but hop over the water and land on our little tree here. And then when you land on this one, you're surrounded by water, so you could hop onto the next one. Just a little maybe athletics challenge for your PCs. Oh, and actually my little idea comes into play. If you look at all three of these, like you have some land, or you can even knock this bad boy out. We'll get to that one in a sec. Some land, you hop over to the stone, you have to hop over to this stone. Just some like athletic stuff. These are both 4x4s, and on the reverse, we have some grassy marshiness, and then more land on the back. So like I said, you could probably twist these up a little bit, have some fun, okay, we got to go from one land mass to the stone to the other land. Just an idea, just a thought. These tiles are pretty cool. It's just you really have to use your imagination on this one. Maybe I'm just doing a bad job. I don't know. More water and land, and on the reverse, more grass in the middle of the field, so you can walk across that. I'm thinking that that's how I would run this one. It's just the entire play field is water outside of where I marked off as green, and then they have to hop and jump and skip and balance their way across certain obstacles to get across, and in the midst of it all, they have to fight whomever they have to fight. Alright, this is a 6-tile piece, or 6-tile page thing, so we're going to actually hit the last one. 2x8, long like grassy part, and then seafront water. So yeah, that's a nice little piece, I guess. And then running river, so you can actually probably use that. Well, not tied in with this one, but you know what I mean. Little river going to another bridge, crossing another bridge. Okay. More land, water, water, land. Bigger land, little water, a lot of water, little land. On the reverse of those, some solid ground with structure, I guess. Solid ground with structure, or elevated, whatever. Next one, more grass in the field. Little lake. Little pond. Okay, we have one little tree or shrub or bush. On the back it's a black structure, I guess, or three-dimensional. I'm gonna call those black spot 3D things, so you can actually put down like three-dimensional walls, or you know, build your little thing and make it more interactive. This is a small little island in the middle of water. It's a 2x2 piece, and on the reverse is a 2x2 pond. Very small little water patch. Definitely something you can throw in the middle of everything, in the middle of an island, and like maybe an observation pool, or a little something they have to swim down to get to a lower level of whatever caves are below such and such island. I don't know. Next one we have is a tree, 2x2, offering cover, concealment, and elevated play. If you want to have that climbing abilities, and then more stuff floating around in the water. Next one is a 2x2 stone surrounded by water, as well as a tree on the reverse surrounded by water. 1x2 tree obstacles. Oh shit, phone call, hold on. Bye. Okay, before we were interrupted, we're off to the last sheet. We're still on the last sheet. Last 4 little tiles. You get a 1x2 and 1x2. They're both trees, so you can plant these along your route. Little shrubs, really. Cover, concealment. Not really cover, but more concealment than anything. On the reverse, we have another black. I probably talked about this before the break on the phone, but that was like a half-an-hour break there. More structural stuff on the back. A black little tile and a pile of rocks and pebbles and debris on the back of this other one. And now the last 2. You have some, well, a short log. I guess you could say this is a 10-foot by 5-foot log or 1x2 on the scale. This one's floating in water. This one is, well, not really floating in water, but it's in the water. And the reverse is the same log on land. And finally, a little black abyss kind of structure. My best guesstimate is that you could put some kind of wall or three-dimensional thing going on there. And on the reverse of that is a 1x2 slow, difficult terrain, walking on the marsh grass over water. Alright, so with the Witchlight Fens dungeon tile set, you will get 6 sheets and everything that I described in this video so far. And my best little imagination thing right now that I can use this for is setting it up so that maybe there's piranha in the water and you want to keep your guys bouncing from land to rock to land. Or maybe you can have like some troglodytes, or I don't know, it's a witchlight forest, so maybe the troglodytes, am I saying that right? Maybe they can come in here. You have some other form of reptilian fun out there. You definitely use this as like a base for some seafaring adventure. I mean, you have some good stuff. I mean, if you can zone out the marsh stuff, this could be like a long launch dock. A lot of fun, a lot of marshy water, but land, but difficult. It has a little fun, lots of fun in here. Alright, I haven't tried this one because, like you saw, I unboxed it, but maybe in the future, maybe we'll review this again after some experimentation with it, and we'll see what comes of it. It's also a nice little piece so I can add to my little collection, and maybe future interactive tiles for other adventures. Neat little set. Adds a little variety to like your standard dungeon tiles, and I kind of like it. I can't give a full like, yeah, I love it because I used it for this yet, but maybe at a future date we'll touch back on these and talk about them a little bit more. Alright, so you get 6 sheets, you get a bunch of tiles, yeah, and you get this little sample map, but it doesn't really, well, yeah, it does kind of piece together, but it makes no sense, because this thing's got trees and the dock, and then water going to the center house, but then, I don't know, I'm not going to run off the base map. Use your imagination. Like I said, you probably can lay out a big sheet and use the land masses as land, and then use the water, mark it off whatever is left, and have fun with that one. Alright, boys and girls, like I said, there's going to be a link in the description where you can check out other people's reviews on Amazon, as well as an opportunity to purchase this tile set. It's a fun little set from what I'm seeing right now, and I'll get back to you at a later date after I've used them for 1 or 2 encounters and see what other ideas I can come up with for this one. Alright guys, this is Pete, D20RP Gamer. And until our next little fun one, thanks for coming by. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you have this set, please leave a comment below. Let me know, let us know how you use it, how you feel about it. If you like the video, please press the like button. Share this with your friends. Social media is fun. And yeah, thanks a lot. And until next time, roll for initiative.